Welcome, Kiss Army, to an exciting look at history from four. That's right, four longtime fans. The show diving into the band and its 50 plus year career of songs, albums, lineup changes, makeup, no makeup, makeup again, products galore, and the events surrounding it, and saying to ourselves, of course I like it. It's fun and it's Kiss. But is it critical to history? Join us as we take on the album that some say is their best compilation album and their first compilation album from 1978, double platinum. This is Critical Kiss, 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 Kiss.
Critical Kiss, tearing up the screen. With the legends of rock, we're living the dream. Hard-hitting heads, banging never obscene. Critical Kiss, rock and roll supreme.
Hey everybody, I am Brant from In My Head. You can find me on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter. Don't make me go to Twitter. Sometimes I'm just thinking about deleting my Twitter account. That place is so caustic. It's like I have to feel like I have to take a shower every time I get off Twitter. But yeah, so you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Patreon, patreon.com/In My Head.
AJ?
Me, AJ underscore Zetro 1975 on Instagram. AJ's Happy Fun Time channel on YouTube, which is still not doing a whole lot right now with it, but I'll get back to it, I swear. Horror, metal, mayhem, wrestling, comics, Kiss. Join me if you want. And that's about it. And looks like we're breaking out the big guns today. Rick, who's this guy underneath me? What?
Go ahead, Rick.
Okay, my name's Rick. It's All For You Demon on YouTube and Instagram, and that's all I am for socials. But yeah, thank you guys for having me on, man. This is gonna be fun. I love double platinum, so I love you guys, and so this will be a fun little Kiss night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Band
Yes.
shooting like a firing squad.
Rick was always supposed to be here, and we're glad he's finally joining us.
I was going to just mention that because of Rick, the three of us are here together every month for you. Rick, you're our godfather. Love you, man. And it's great. It's good. I follow Rick because of Rick. I follow Brant because of Brant. Follow Tommy. And I don't think you guys follow me yet, do you? So
Yeah.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we'll follow you.
I think I'm Tommy. At Clairvoyant Audiophile. I don't know. We'll do a video when we do one. I don't know.
Write it down. Write it down.
At some point. It's pretty much the same thing as Heels and Quads was. It's just whenever we can find time in the schedule. But all I know is Rick's here, and I'm excited about that. And he has a new video on his channel. It's All For You Demon every Friday night. And it is must-see TV for me while I'm at work. And I love it. It kills at least 15 to 20 minutes of my evening. And it's always... Yeah.
You're in that Dukes of Hazzard slot when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Friday nights, baby.
Yes.
So updates on the channel real quick. We had a huge month. Alive 2 hit 1,000 views as of yesterday, which is huge for a channel that only has, as of now, 232 subscribers. That number is up 33 from last month, so that's big. Of course, you can follow the show Critical Kiss 1 because somebody has Critical Kiss. Still waiting on that to fall off so we can take it over. But for now, Critical Kiss 1 on Instagram and Critical Kiss on Facebook. And we have a TikTok, but I haven't posted anything on that in forever. So I kind of gave up on the shorts for the channel. I feel like it does well on its own. Do the news, the critical moment. You know, It's like 8 to 15 minutes usually. Those do okay. The news is becoming a loved segment from the shows. Yeah, but as far as subscribers and views go, this is the most excited I've been for an episode just to see where it goes from last month. So hopefully it keeps going up from here, and we appreciate everybody watching. Woo. And the watch time. You guys are crushing it with the watch time. It's insane how many people actually watch the entire episode.
Nice.
I think that's it. Critical moment.
It's awesome. Critical moments in double platinum. So let's go back to young Brant back in 1978, 9 years old. It seemed like an eternity between I became a Kiss fan shortly before Alive 2 came out, and it seemed like an eternity in between Live 2 and Double Platinum. And I swear that I don't know if the timeline is right, but I swear remembering that when Double Platinum was coming out, that there was talks already that the band was working. Well, there was several rumors. The band was breaking up. The band was doing solo albums, and the band was working on a movie. And I'd heard a rumor, and I think it was just because they filmed Phantom at an amusement park, but the Kiss was going to start like an amusement park. There was going to be like a Kiss themed amusement park. And I remember being like just stoked for that. But platinum to me when I was a kid, it was almost like a speed bump. It wasn't something that I really hovered over. It helped me hear some songs that I had not heard before because this was during the time that I still did not have the first three albums. I had only had Destroyer, Alive, or Live 2 and Double Platinum and Love Gun. And so I had basically, everything after Destroyer. I didn't own Kiss Alive yet, and I didn't own any of the first three albums. I didn't get those till like sometime during the solo album Dynasty era. So I was late to the early Kiss catalog. But it was kind of a speed bump for me. It's not one that I go back to and listen very often. I don't pop it in very often and listen to it. But when I do, I enjoy it. I think that to me, the biggest thing that this was critical for was this was the album that Sean Delaney went and mixed. I think he went over to Europe and mixed this. The band re-recorded Strutter 78. And then Sean Delaney basically took a lot of the master tapes and made some changes to some of the songs. We may go over some of those as we're going through. I don't know how deep in the weeds we're going to get, but this to me was mostly critical because I think this was the album that the label put out for two reasons. One, a double album counted as two releases, and the solo albums collectively counted as two releases. Kiss had signed this big, huge contract. So the solo albums themselves in their contract, two solo albums counted as one release, and a double album counted as two releases. So it helped them get a little further into their contract to oblige to their contract. And it also tied rabid fans because you have to remember this is when Kiss was coming off of Alive 2. Their popularity and the merch and all the stuff that you see behind us and behind Rick and well that yeah, just one of those behind Rick, but in his room, in his Kiss museum vault, a lot of that came from the era and a couple of years after this era. And the fans were ravenous. They couldn't get enough. I remember being a kid, and it was like crack. You just couldn't get enough of it. And not that I've ever done crack, but
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Might be a bad reference. Might be a bad. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But
Don't do crack.
But it was frenzy. It was like chum in the water. It's like fans wanted. They like give me more. You couldn't see them enough on TV. You couldn't see enough magazines, and the fans had to have something. So this was a thing that other than recording that song, 78, Kiss was very much hands off on. And it amazes me if you go back and listen to watch some of the videos like Dennis DeWalch or whatever, who designed a lot of the packaging for Kiss, to hear him talk in some of the videos that he's done. It's amazing to me how hands off Kiss was on their packaging. We think the Kiss was like all in it and in the office, and no, they actually weren't. They were a lot of times they didn't even know really what the album was going to look like until they saw like test presses of it. So this was something they were very much hands off of. It was something that was very much to tie fans over because the band was filming a movie. They were recording solos. They were kind of doing that simultaneously. Some stuff, they got that rumor where that false history where it's like the solo albums were thought of while we were filming the movie. Okay, but then why does some of like Ace's, like Paul's album and Peter's album was recorded before filming started? It's like, you might want to revise your history story. Rick, I know you love this album, and you know I love you, buddy. You know I love you so much. So, and I know you're not going to
Uh-oh.
take offense to what I'm about to say,
Here
but
comes.
to me, back during the time, this basically double platinum was kind of like a cash grab. If you think about it, it really was. And I mean, I love this album. Do not get me wrong, I love it, but it was the label capitalizing on the frenzied momentum that Kiss had. And they're like, we got to give them something. We got to give them something. Let's give them a greatest hits album. And we're not going to call it greatest hits. We're going to call it double platinum, or whatever. To be like, look, we're selling mondo amounts of albums when, really they only had a couple albums that actually had gone platinum at the time. So to me, it was critical for the band and for the label because it sold like gangbusters. I mean, like Tommy said, this is probably their most popular compilation album out of all the compilations. This is probably the most popular one. But, it was just something that the label did to appease the fans at the time and make more money. But I think it was very critical. Now, longevity wise, critical, I don't, we look back at it now, and if you weren't there, and if you don't really think about, you don't really factor in the frenziness that Kiss had that was on a level like we've only really seen come close to whenever they reunited. It was so big that this was a big deal when it came out. But it's not really so much of a big deal now. It's just another album in the catalog.
Well, this album I didn't really have growing up as a kid, really. I never really had the tapes or the original CDs, I don't think. My only copy is this old one from the 80s, and I never really listened to it a lot either. I never realized that they changed so much stuff and just kind of put it on. I'm like, yeah, I know all these songs and listen in the background. And then later I'm like, well, that sounds a little different. And that sounds like shit. I guess they did a lot to this album, but I really don't have a lot of memories with it. It's one I got later on. And I do have one kind of funny story. When I was a kid, my mom would go to garage sales and yard sales and shit. When I was little, I hated it. I'm like, man, mom, but she dragged me along. But when I got a little older, like maybe, I don't know, like 9 or 10, and realized that they had some cool shit at garage sales, I'd always go with her and I'd look for Kiss stuff or G.I. Joe stuff. Okay. So I actually got a couple albums still to this day from garage sales and flea markets and shit. And there was one day I saw double platinum on 8-track. Just one tape though. And it was like a quarter or 50 cents or whatever. So I'm like, come on, Kiss stuff. Can I have it? I didn't know what it was. It's like, yeah, I get it. So took it home, put it in the 8-track player, and I'm like, all right, Kiss. And I'm waiting, and I'm like, it's so quiet. I'm like, just nothing. Turn the volume up, trying to hit the next track. I like pull it out. I'm like, put it back in, and like still nothing. I'm like, Ma, there's something wrong with this thing. I can't hear nothing. And she looked at it, and there was no tape inside. Someone had taken the
Oh
tape out.
shit.
And I'm like, I was so excited. My mom went back to that garage sale and asked for her money back. She got it.
A whole
A
quarter.
quarter?
50 cents at the most, probably a quarter. But I had no idea there was two, so I would have got ripped off anyway. I only got the one. Empty 8-track. Then my mom went back and she's like, we're getting our money back. She got her money back. Because you don't mess with the hillbilly woman from Alabama. That's about it, though. Like I said, it was a later on thing where I finally heard the whole thing, and it was just like. But now I really do like it, though. I really like it. I'm glad it's in the rotation for me. So, cheers.
This was actually the first Kiss album I heard before I became a fan. In like '86, the whole neighborhood was like skateboarding, and our neighbors' parents were always out of town on the weekends. And my friend Brett, we raided his brother's record collection, and he had Rush, Hemispheres, Police, Zenyatta, and Double Platinum. And Police and Rush were like too smart for us because we were all like Motley Crue kids. And so we would play Double Platinum all the time. And my friend Danny, he remembered it from being a kid. It never stuck with me then. But like Brant, how you said you didn't think it was big after the 70s. To me, in the turn 16 in 1991, you didn't want to take a bunch of CDs with you. And so when I was becoming a Kiss fan, like the double platinum CD was like always in my car. Because it was like you had like the greatest of Kiss in one CD in your car, and it really grew on me in high school. And as far as being critical in the legacy of Kiss, I always go back to bands release good greatest hits after they've broken up, and to release such a cool, packed, beginning to end, different versions of the song's greatest hits while you're still in your prime is amazing to me. So that's why it's critical as a moment in history to me. And kind of I just have those memories of, just staring at that silver record, had no idea who they were. I was in the seventh grade, and it's weird how this stuff infiltrates your life and you spend the rest of your life staring at that silver record.
Is there a song on Double Platinum that you would trade out? Is there a song that's on there that you're like, man, this ain't quite the caliber of the other songs?
Do You Love Me? God, that is a skip. That has been a skip since I was since I was a freshman in high school, 51 years old.
Man, I used to love playing with my Kiss styles of that song. I love the beginning drum. Like, how does Pete play that drum beat with those boots like that?
Pete's little arms and doing like this, but on the Mego dolls, they're going to fall off.
I was more
fascinated
with the boots and the pedals. Like, how's he play with those boots?
He doesn't.
Sorry to do this, but did it always nice that they list Rock Bottom as a track on the inside? I always thought that was so weird.
But not on the label.
Yeah, it just says like Rock Bottom intro.
Yeah.
But really the Rock Bottom intro is 4 songs down at She. I just
Yeah,
that was
it's
weird.
out of place. Yeah,
Yep,
and then
you're
for
right.
me, as far as critical goes, I've from the beginning of this show, I told the story. I had Alive 3 and Kiss My Ass. That was kind of not necessarily my introduction, because I saw Phantom of the Park when I was way younger than I should have been, and that's probably why I didn't like them as much as I did later on in the early to mid 90s. But Double Platinum came, I got Kiss Alive 3, Kiss My Ass, and then I had a cassette of Destroyer, and then I got the Greatest Kiss cassette. That was car only. That stayed in the car. And then when they did the remasters, Double Platinum was the first one I got, because I wanted all of those songs that I, kind of heard between those albums, and then Love Gun always being my favorite. I saw that was on there. Even though it's weird, no other Love Gun songs appear on it, but it didn't hit me until after I got the other remasters how different the tracks were. And like, even now I still find little things, and like I sent you guys that video, and I know you guys have probably seen it. I know Rick had already seen it when I sent it, but I mean, just every little detail that guy went through to find Kiss isolated tracks on YouTube, to find what differences. And like the Calling Dr. Love one always stuck out to me, and we'll talk about them as we go. But yeah, as far as compilations go, and I mean, I like Killers, I like Smashes, but to me, this one's always a fun, like this, I put this record on when I'm cleaning house, when I'm folding laundry, stuff like that. This is my go-to, because it's a little bit of everything from the 70s era, before. So
How old were you when you got the remasters?
So I would have been 97. I was 10.
That's awesome.
Early on. Yeah. And that's probably one of the few CDs that I still have from my original collection.
97, me and my wife were already dating for a year.
Hey, I'm the baby. I know.
Long time.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard the Japanese 45 of Strutter 78?
I haven't. I gotta hear it.
It has got so much reverb on it. It is beautiful. There's a couple of people that have uploaded it on YouTube.
I'll have to check it out.
It is awesome. Like it just like echoes.
I gotta hear that. Well, what was the one that don't you have something from? Was it Dynasty with like a 45 of the disco?
The Dirty Livin'.
Yeah. Now, what is that from?
Mexico.
Okay, but I like that. That's cool. See, like those tracks like that is what they should put on box sets too, in my opinion.
The extended mixes.
Yeah, I like stuff like that. So let's go YouTube.
I will say that I do like that the fact that they did this as a greatest hits, and they didn't just slap the original versions of all, re-record Strutter 78 and then just slap the original versions. They did give Sean Delaney the time to remix and And not all of them. Like, like you were talking about, Do You Love Me? They didn't do anything. That's the same version that's on.
It seems like he had fun doing this. I think that's what I like about it.
Hmm. I hear it.
Yeah.
A little
So,
twist.
so yeah, a little twist and putting stuff that makes you things go, what? Cutting choruses out. And like you said on Dr. Love, cutting Gene's main vocal out. And you just have the background singers, those little things that they do. Like some of the changes, we can talk about track side one and the songs on it. And, we already know that Rick don't care for track number two, but Strutter 78, Do You Love Me? Hard Luck Woman, Calling Dr. Love, Let Me Go Rock and Roll. Me personally, I love how they have the drums come in late on Hard Luck Woman. It stays very acoustical
I like that
for
too.
an extended amount of time, and I feel like it's honestly a better version. Well, okay, it's a better version and not a better version than Rock and Roll Over. If they would have done that on Rock and Roll Over, if they would have just done that on Double Platinum, just having the drums come in late and maybe a couple of the little arrangement changes that they made on the song, I would have liked it. But I do like that. But I'm not a fan of the way that they made the snare drum sound on Hard Luck Woman. Whatever reverb or whatever thing that he did to the snare and to the drums, I like it better on Rock and Roll Over. Calling Dr. Love, I love that where it comes in all spooky, kind of like a
Yeah.
prelude to Gene's solo album.
Yeah.
You know, I love that. That's awesome. And then Let Me Go Rock and Roll. I can't remember off the top of my head what changes there are to Let Me Go Rock and Roll.
Just
But
less. I think it's less reverb and it's more like bass. It's
okay,
just a little beefier, not much.
yeah, I think it's a good start. It's not my favorite side of the album. So, what do you guys think about any particular notes on any particular tracks on the first side, or is the first side your favorite of the four? Is it well? Let's just say, is it the favorite of side one or side two?
Yeah, right.
We didn't even talked about side. I guess we need to do side two first before we pick a favorite. I might have been a little premature picking on that, but what do
It's
you guys
never
think?
happened to you before.
I've never been premature before. I know there's always a first. It's always a first.
I like side one. I do like Strutter 78, what they did with different with that. But everything else, the Hard Luck Woman, like you said, yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you say there. I really didn't notice anything with Let Me Go Rock and Roll. I'm not that technical, and or the snare on Hard Luck Woman either. It's like I don't know, man. I, you
That
know,
snare on Hard Luck
I
Woman
just
gets
like
to
the
me, man.
tunes.
like I said, it
Once
took me
that
years.
snare does hit and come in, once that snare does hit and come in, it's all I hear. It's like
Now I'm gonna have
it
to
ruins it
re-listen
for
to
me.
them. Like I said, it took me years to realize that anything was different about any of them until probably Strutter. I'm like, why that sounds a little like, but still, I'm not smart like that. I'm not musically savvy like that.
You're just a normal human being.
That's right.
I love side one. I'm a huge Strutter 78 fan. Even the name, that adding 78 to Strutter is just so cool to me. It's like a license plate on a yellow 78 Corvette. Like, it's just fucking cool. Hard Luck Woman, I agree. The drums not being in the intro. You mentioned Kiss My Ass earlier. I love the fact Garth Brooks even did that on his version. I thought that was pretty cool. Little nod to Double Platinum. Uh,
Yep.
Calling Dr. Love. I'm with you, AJ. I didn't know any of the changes until the Kiss Isolated Tracks video came out, and I'm just like jaw on the ground, going back and like, how did I miss this my entire life? I love it. And then Let Me Go Rock and Roll. I've never been a fan of that song until Double Platinum, and I love it. It's an awesome closer on side one.
Yeah, I love Strutter 78. I know I like it better than the original version on the debut. Do You Love Me? No changes. I guess Sean Delaney said it was hard to do any kind of remixing because all of the effects were built into the tracks for him, so he couldn't really do anything with the Destroyer tracks. Hard Luck Woman, I love this version. Calling Dr. Love, I've said it in the last 2 episodes, I think, coming or 3 episodes coming up to this one. I did the side by side comparison. This is my favorite version of Calling Dr. Love. And Let Me Go Rock and Roll, fun note about that, on my CD, after about probably a month of listening to it over and over, it skipped every time. And I still remember it. And when I listen to the vinyl, even today, when I listen to it, I remember exactly where the skip is. And I'm just like waiting for it, and it doesn't skip, and it kind of throws me off a little bit. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? And then I come back to present day and realize that, I'm not listening to my old CD that has a little
Isn't that
scratch
weird?
on it.
Yeah, I got a couple records like that I've been listening to since I was a kid. And when I heard them again, finally unskipped, I'm like, oh, it's been so long since I
Yeah.
heard it, like how it's supposed to be.
Whether it be vinyl or CD, if you listen to it with a skip forever, you know exactly where that skip is.
Yeah.
And with vinyl, at least, it kind of gives it that little bit of added personality, like the little crackle, the pop, the maybe a little bit of a skip, and you're like, just give it a second, it'll adjust.
Whenever I
My
listen
wife, when
to
she's getting ready for work, she's like, "Oh my God, fix that." And I'm like, "It'll give it a second."
whenever I listen to Detroit Rock City, any studio version of it, I always hear the feedback from a live too. I just go, I just do it. Like I'm not listening to the live version. I'm listening to the studio track. Just that's the version that's in my head for 45 years now. So I don't know. It's just weird how we do stuff like that.
Side two, Love Gun. No changes, no really notable changes to Love Gun. God of Thunder. I don't think there's any notable changes. God of Thunder.
The
Firehouse
panning,
has the
the
panning.
panning on God
Yeah.
of Thunder, and the kid voices. Yeah.
Firehouse is actually kind of like a remix. Most notable change in this version of the song is the increased tempo of
Yeah.
the piece. It is sped up with the tempo increase. The track's length is maintained as the same as the original by adding an additional repetition of "Get the Firehouse Woo Yeah" at the end of the song instead of ending with the famed fire bell alarm. The original track fades out over repetition of the introduction riffs. A lot of changes to Firehouse. I actually like the pace of this is the pace of it here on Double Platinum is the pace it really should have been on the original. It does,
Yes.
like a lot of the songs on the original, kind of trods a little
Mhm.
bit, and they could use just a little pep, a little zing and pep. I actually like the second side better than the first side. I like Love Gun, God of Thunder. I love Firehouse, one of my favorite top 10 Kiss songs. And I Want You is great too. Hotter Than Hell's great. Hotter Than Hell, is there any significance to Hotter Than Hell? I don't think so, unless you
I
guys tell
think
me
it's
there
the
is.
same as I think it's the same as Let Me Go. I think all the Hotter Than Hell stuff, he tried to just make it a little heavier, a little beefed up.
And then I Want You, I don't hear any. Do y'all hear any notable changes in I Want You? So to me, I prefer the second side over the first. That's just me personally. Anything from you guys?
AJ?
Yeah. I think the second side too. Yeah. For me, I do appreciate that Firehouse is a little because it's like you said, that original one is it's so dead, dead, dead.
But hold
They
back.
play,
Hold on. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Oh, the song's still playing.
yeah. Well, plus I was probably used to hearing the live version, before the original one.
And the
So
live version scoots.
yeah, I like that. Yeah, I do probably prefer side two over side one as well. Good choice of songs. So yeah, side two for me over one.
Rick?
I'm a side two. I'm a side one fan of the two sides. Probably because I like the changes on side one more because there's not that many. I'll probably go back and be like, side two is full of changes. But side one just, Strutter 78, Hard Luck Woman, Calling Dr. Love. I like the tracks on side two. And I love ending with I Want You, another great ending to a side two. Now, I'm not an audio person, so what I like, most people hate. But do you remember a couple of weeks ago when John Five posted the Hotter Than Hell acetate from Double Platinum?
Yeah.
And they wrote
Yes.
horrible on it? I actually
Yeah.
liked it because it
Yeah, I
had
liked
so
it.
much reverb.
Yeah, I liked it too.
I thought it was great. And then I was like, Sean Delaney hated it. But I mean, I would have loved that version on there. But yeah, I'm of the two sides, I'm a side one. But dang, I mean, you can't ask for a better track listing of a side. All hits. Well, I guess it's called a greatest.
Yeah, I'm with Rick. I'm side one. I like the changes. Like I said, Dr. Love, this is my favorite version. Hard Luck Woman, my favorite version. Strutter, favorite version. Yeah, but I will say, because I shit on Firehouse a couple of times. I've shit on Firehouse in the past. I like this version of Firehouse. I wouldn't mind the siren, but I do like the idea of ending it how it started. And this isn't the only time on this album that happens, that Sean Delaney
Yeah.
did that. But I like that. I think that gives it just an added something. Overall, you can't go wrong with either side. And it's hard for me to pick against anything with Love Gun on it, but in this case, I have to go with side one.
Is Love Gun your favorite track of all time?
Yeah, of all time. Any
Mine,
artist. Love Gun is my favorite
mine
song
too.
of all time.
Mine too. Love Kiss.
All right. Going to the second album, side three, we have Deuce. Let's see. Anybody know any notable changes on Deuce? I'm kind of looking it up.
The Do It. Paul's Do It.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
It. It's more in
Yeah.
front.
Yeah. Says this recording features only minor differences. The chorus that follows the guitar solo and the line of "And baby, if you're feeling good" is replaced with "Baby, if you're feeling good." I like how he did kind of just cut words and kind of chop things around. And then we have 100,000 Years. Anybody can, it says the original version, timed at 3 minutes, 22 seconds, double platinum. The songs is essentially faithful to the original. The only production equalization, bringing up the clarity of the guitars and cymbals. One minor difference of in 100,000 years is in the third verse, it just says 400,000 years. So I'm kind of curious that maybe he used some alternate takes to actually get some different words because, he probably had access to all kinds of different master tapes. And then Detroit Rock City is all kinds of different. There's a whole break that's removed. It's kind of like made more towards like the radio version, and the crash
single
and the
edit.
introduction. Yeah, it reduces that to 335 versus its original length of 513. So he just hacked it down a little bit. Rock bottom. That's the rock bottom that is the intro is put on the end of She. And it's this particular website I'm looking at calls She a hatchet job. Even excluding the addition of 52 seconds of rock bottom, adding that to the beginning of the song, the double platinum version of She is still 25 seconds shorter than the original. Instead of fading out over the third chorus and guitar work, the core riff and the first two lines of the first version are added for the fade out. So yeah, I remember She and Rock Bottom being it was almost too weird for me to really get into. You guys may feel different. And then Rock and Roll All Night, no notable changes on, at least not no noted changes. Maybe some oral changes and some mixing changes, but a lot of times this website, when it says remix, it's like when he's really kind of pieceworked some of these songs and done some significant things to them, speeding them up, hacking
Yeah, I think
parts
Rock and
of
Roll All
songs
Night
off
is
of one.
it's just louder.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a better mix rather than being a flat out remix or remake of the song. It just sounds better. I don't think there's a bad song on this side. Deuce, 100,000 Years, Detroit Rock City, my favorite Kiss song. She is amazing. And then Rock and Roll All Night. I'll have to wait and see what's on side four to decide which one I like between the two. But what about you guys on particular things on songs on this side?
I didn't understand the whole rock bottom intro at all. It's like you kind of wait for the rock bottom to start, and it doesn't. It's like a prick tease, So
Bling.
yeah.
You're like, what the hell is
What
going
happened
on? Did my CD just skip?
Yeah, I know. Like,
Did somebody mess with my 8-track? Somebody
But
spliced the rock bottom out?
it is a solid side though, and I do like the shorter version of Detroit Rock City. So yeah, this the thing that just throws me off is that the rock, because I do like that intro as an intro, but as an intro to the song it's supposed to be introing. Yeah, it's a good side though. Good side of me.
Side three, I'll go ahead and jump a little bit, but side three, I'm a more side three boy than side four. She does it for me. I absolutely love the rock bottom intro into She because it does throw you off. Mixtape and like I just love She anyway. It's my favorite Gene song, but there are so many versions of that. The Wicked Lester demo, Dress to Kill, Alive, Double Platinum, and like each of them are good in their own way. So it's like trying to pick your favorite kid. I think the Alive version is probably the best, but man, the Double Platinum version is just so close to my heart. It wins side three for me.
Nice.
Do you like
And-
how do you like how they, instead of fading out over that "She's so good," instead of fading out over that guitar work like they originally did, Do you like that they went back and revisited that core riff and added the
Oh,
first two lines of
only
the
because
song at the
it's
very?
because I like the original groove part. Because I mean, that's just like classic rock power. But just because it is weird, I think that's why I like Double Platinum. Is because it's almost like an acid trip of a Kiss record.
Great analogy. Holy
There you go.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean
It's
Delaney was
it's
probably on
just
acid.
weird
Could have
overall.
been.
Yeah.
He might have been on acid or coke, or
Not that there's anything wrong with it.
we're going to totally freak
And
him
some,
out, man. We're
some
going to make
coke
him
and his Parliament cigarettes.
think that
Shout out to
rock
P
bottom's
Funks.
gonna make them think that rock bottom's starting, dude, and then they're gonna hit them with she, man. And then when the song's going off, we're gonna go back to the beginning, man. It's gonna be great.
It's groundbreaking. Yeah, I'm with Rick and all of us. I think we've talked about She twice. This is now the third time. She is my third favorite Kiss song. It goes Love Gun, Black Diamond, She. I think those to me the three of the best rock songs ever. And She, just that groove. It is just, I mean, it kicks you in the dick hole. It really does. I'm
Ouch.
always a fan. I'm always a fan of Detroit Rock City when it doesn't have the extended intro. I know a lot of Kiss fans love Destroyer to no end. It's at the bottom of my top 10. And I like Bob Ezrin. I like his production on everything, but I don't know. I want the music. I don't want the and then he's driving and you hear rock and roll night, whatever. I like
Yeah.
the single edit. Deuce, I like that the do it is louder. Seems a little closer to the live version than the original album. 100,000 Years, I've said it before. As a kid, I could take it or leave it. But this version is good. Rock and Roll Night, it is what it is.
Side four's got some interesting little changes. One in particular, I always loved, still love to this day, and if you've never caught it, you need to definitely compare it to the original. So Beth is not really any noticeable changes, maybe some mixing changes and stuff, but not anything noticeable. Making Love's kind of the same thing. There's some mixing changes that is, no really changes to the substance of the song. The one thing in particular that I noticed about the next track, Come On and Love Me, is it says on the notes I have, it says the song loses 5 seconds from the original version because of a slight tempo change. And I do notice that there's a slight tempo increase. But to offset it, on songs that they fade out, they basically, the band keeps playing an extended amount of time, and then whoever's doing the mixing and the mastering, they fade the song out. And there's like usually a timed slope of fade. But if you listen to Come On and Love Me on the original album and then you listen to it here, you get to hear more things at the end, further into the end of the recording that you got than you heard on the original recording of it. And I always used to do this, and I still do it to this day, where as a song is going off, and I used to swear, and when I had headphones on, I thought I was going to blow my ears out. I was always fascinated about what was those things that was happening just
Yeah.
seconds before the final fade out. And so
Hmm.
as the song would start to fade down, I'd start turning the volume up. And you would hear like there's something really cool that Peter says at the end of Baby Driver. You just hear all kinds of stuff at the very end where they think, well, this is going to be faded out by now. So they're just dicking around. And you hear some really cool stuff. But you better, if you're listening to it on something that's going to go to the next song, you better get turned back down real quick because you will suffer hearing loss when the next song starts in. But yeah, so Come On and Love Me has that. And then Cold Gin is pretty much it's the same. It's got some mixing things. And then Black Diamond, I love the fact that Black Diamond doesn't immediately start with Paul singing. It doesn't mean he start with "Out on the Streets for a Living." It starts with like an acoustic lead in, and I love that. I love the beginning of Black Diamond's one of my favorite Kiss songs from beginning to end. I love the blues solo that Ace plays at the end after Peter does his little. I love
Yeah.
Black Diamond. I love the fact that it's about a prostitute living on the streets. I mean, I love all the lore about that song, everything that it is. I love that Paul starts singing it and then he goes away and then Peter sings. And after they come out of the solo, they all come in with that out on the streets for a living, da na 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 na, that song in general.
Yeah.
So,
Gives me goosebumps
Yeah.
hearing somebody
yeah.
else talk about that song.
Yeah, they had to throw Beth on there, but other than that, it's a pretty good site. Yeah, I'm with you though. I do like how they did that because it's with Black Diamond because it's way better than the original with that. So, but yeah, I don't really have much to say about it. But it's a solid side. So if I had to pick, I'd probably pick that side over three, even though Beth's on there.
Yeah, I did forget to note that they cut that.
Stabbing me in the heart.
Not that I don't like Beth, it's just
I may have to join you guys for the Gene album.
you're gonna need some tissues for that one. I don't mean the good way.
I'm already prepared for AJ to just shit all over Gene and
Come
Peter's
on now.
albums.
You're making me sound like a negative Nelly.
No, not you.
Prove us wrong, AJ. Prove us wrong.
Well, it's we'll
I've
get
seen
to
your
it.
review of those albums. I've seen you.
It's more smart ass than anything, but yeah, I have opinions.
And you have a right to them. No judgment
I'm
here.
gonna
We don't
squash
we
your
don't
opinion on side 4. I think my first introduction to Kiss was Phantom of the Park, and not in the 70s, in the 80s. And so when I got into Double Platinum, I loved Beth being on this record because I don't think I had Destroyer at the time, and Smashes had Eric singing Beth, and I didn't like that. I loved Beth being on this. I thought it was great. It's a great way to kick off
Yeah.
the last side. And Come On and Love Me is probably the coolest rock and roll lyric song ever, I think. Like Paul Stanley tapped in to they were young. I mean, first 3 records tapped into being a rock star right away, just with the lyrics of that song. Cold Gin, if I never heard again the rest of my life, I would be perfectly fine with that. And Black Diamond, like you said, love the new intro. I do like the original tremolo, slow down. I love that because it's just so scary. Like that album cover is kind of scary, and then like ends scary. But I do like this ending as well. But I'm more of a side 3 than a side 4.
So, go ahead, Tommy.
For changes alone, I'm going to go with side 3 as well. There's the most notable changes. However, side 4, Black Diamond, that as far as a studio track, this is the way to listen to it because that extended intro gives it more of that live feel or vibe. And like we said when we did the debut album on the first episode, that sludgy boom. I mean, that was one of our first little callback things that we did. So
That was one of the songs my mom would yell about. She's like, "There's some on that record." No, it's not. Fix that record.
That's tough for me. Let's see. Side 3. I don't think I picked. Side 3 has Deuce, which I love. I mean, I love all the songs except hard rock and roll all night. I mean, I love the song, but it's kind of Beth Making Love. I love that. It's one of my favorite songs. Come On and Love Me, I love. Cold Gin, I love. Black Diamond, I love. Man, that's tough for me. I guess I got to go with side 3 because it's got my favorite Kiss song on it. That they cleaned it up. They tightened it down into a nice, neat little package. And then it's got She 100,000 Years and Deuce on it. So I'd say I'm a side 3. But now, what about between all 4?
That's a rough one.
So for me, it would be between side 3 and side 1. I'm going with side 3 for me.
I'd say 4.
I'd go 1.
I'm
One's
going
good.
1 as well.
All right.
Mixed bag.
3 of my favorite differences is side 1, and that for me, it takes it.
And it's good that he didn't do so many differences all throughout.
Yeah, it's kind of scattered.
I think what he did was, I don't know. I would like to know who came up with the list. It was probably somebody, maybe a coin. It was either a coin or Bogart, maybe a combination of the two. And with Sean Delaney's input, I don't think it was a Kiss input. And then Sean Delaney probably picked and choose the ones that he could have the most fun with, like Rick said. And he's like, I'm not going to have time to do every one, so I'm going to do this to these. And I think that he polished or did something to every one of them, maybe a little bit of remixing, a little remastering or whatever. But I like that not every song is different. And I like that they did not re-record every song. It wouldn't have made a whole lot of sense for them to re-record every song. And I think it's an interesting choice that they picked Strutter to re-record because it was the first song on the first album. So it's the first song on a double platinum album, on a compilation album. And that's not a greatest hits, it's a compilation. And they didn't give that treatment to every song. They didn't re-record every song, and they didn't dress up and change every single song.
I kind of think, you know how you always think like I'd like to be a fly on the wall for this record and watch the recording. I actually think mine would be double platinum because I
Yeah.
would like to know what went into this, what the decisions were, how much cocaine was in the studio.
A lot.
I just
Yeah.
want to know more than anything. I want to know if the original 4 actually all played on Strutter 78.
I have read that they did. I read that was an absolute re-recording.
I've read this. I've read the same too, that it was all of them.
I've heard different. I've heard it they did, and I heard they didn't. So
What's
I
the
don't know.
smell,
I'd
Brent?
like to know.
Smells like an old bookstore. Smells
Now,
like
real quick, do you
it smells delicious. It don't smell like a beer soaked Playboy, but
do any of your covers or any of your insides misprints with the faces? No, me neither.
no, mine aren't. I've got Gene, Paul,
man.
Peter, and Ace. And
All I got-
I've told the story about my first one that I had, that the mylar peeled off of it, and I took a red crayon and did a rub on Gene's face and
Woo!
purple, and I did a rub on him. What's yours smell like?
I don't know.
Armpit?
That is one musky bookstore. Holy shit.
What's the good
That
best
might be
smell
the
of-
most powerful smell I've smelled in a record before, in a sleeve.
We need to have a
Holy
thumbprint.
shit.
We need to have a thumbprint of a video one time where all of us are just sitting here going like this,
Sniffing.
with our
Smell the
nose
glove.
just buried in an album.
You want to make $1 million, make a candle that smells like that.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah, no shit.
This
Just
smell
call it,
right
just
here,
call
like
it
I said,
nostalgia.
this smell is so great because it doesn't smell musty. It doesn't smell dirty.
Calvin Klein.
Yes.
It just smells like when I say it smells like an old bookstore, when you walk into a bookstore that's got a bunch
Yeah.
of old books in it,
Mhm.
that's how this smells.
See,
And
Smells
that's
like
what
an
most
old-
of
reminds
mine
me of
smell
walking
like.
in
I
an
don't
old
know
bookstore.
why. That one is strong.
I got to find a good copy because all I have is this shitty re-release
I
cardboard.
love that. I freaking love that. The fact that there's no gatefold is beautiful.
Nothing. Shitty plastic, flimsy ass disc, but I do. You like this? I do have the original price tag.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
It's not embossed either, right?
Nope, it's flat. It smells like an empty pizza box before they put the pizza in there.
I need to
Cardboard.
get one of those. I love
So
them.
with mine, I got the certificate and I got the merch form. I love how Kiss would stylize their merch form. So this is double platinum. So it's not a bunch of color. It's basically silver, black, and a little bit of red. That's
Yeah.
so cool. And then I'll show the other copies. I understand that Rick might have a lot to show, and I'm going to give him time. I do have this, and AJ, it's still suffocating. It is still
Let it
sealed.
Dude, open that. We can split that open.
Do it now.
Right
It is-
now.
It's still sealed.
Come on.
No.
Hey, if you ever want to sell that, I know a man.
So what is it?
That's got the dynasty pictures inside, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's got the dynasty
Oh,
picture.
open it. Come on.
There you
I'll
go.
never
Hey,
ask again.
I know
You
a
got
man
tape in
in
there?
the city who would buy that from you.
you got tape in those double platinums?
Yes, they have tape.
That's what it looks like.
He's thinking about opening it. He got fidgety for a second.
No, I'm trying to move on. I'm trying to get y'all off that subject.
Come on.
Don't run away from your feelings.
I don't handle peer pressure very well. So I'm trying to
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
I've got this sealed.
Nice.
That's sealed too?
Yeah, this is sealed too.
Play with yourself.
I've got this sealed,
My gosh. One more sealed thing. I'm out of here. I'm
but Rick, I've also got a copy that is not sealed.
Spread it.
There you
There
go,
you
Tom.
go.
That brings back all kinds of memories.
There you
I
go.
think that is so awesome when they redid that and they put the certificate there.
Yeah.
And don't it have it? And then you spread it on open this way, and it's got the
Yeah.
little embossed.
That's beautiful.
That's so cool that they recreated that so faithfully.
And all I got
Um,
was cardboard 20 years earlier.
See,
All it
but
was.
see, that's just from saying, see what you've got. You're like, all I've got is this, and Rick's like, dude, I want one like that. That's the
I
cool
feel,
thing.
I feel like the kid in Charlie Brown. All I got was a rock. All I got was a piece of fucking cardboard.
That was Charlie Brown himself.
You got the original one? I'll trade you, Rick.
I do have several originals if you want to trade.
Oh, look at you.
All right, so what else does anybody else have before we let Rick take the floor?
That's it.
That's all I got. My Kiss meets a fan of VHS.
And you
And that's
can
all
find
I
good
need.
you can find good deals out there, kids. My double platinum I've got there, I paid $15 for it.
No, you
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah, I did. $15. I got
I
this
think I
at
got mine for 18.
I got this
How
in
many
a
years ago,
record
though?
store in Asheville. I just happened to be in, we were walking around Asheville and I just happened to pull up. There's a record store near here. It was a little corner, a record store on the corner, and I went down in there and I was walking around and I didn't find anything. And I was looking around and I said, "You got any Kiss?" And he's like, "Yeah, we just got one in. It's one I've never seen before." I was like, "Can I see it?" And he's like, "Sure." And he pulled it out and it was this. And I was like, I saw the price tag on it. I'm like, let me take a look
Easy
at that.
there, easy.
Yeah,
I said,
right?
"Honey, that ain't no pistol. That's mine."
Pull it out. And whenever I started, I was like, whenever like you're trying to keep a poker face, but you get so excited, you feel like your whole face is about to crack open. I'm sitting here looking at this thing, seeing that it's only $15 in cost. And I'm looking down in it and I see the merch form and I see their certificate. And I was like,
Here's 20.
I'm like, I'll give you 15 for this. That's a good deal.
Hey, Ron, I'm thinking I have one with the certificate and merch form. We might have to do a trade.
Look at there, Aaron. You done messed up, Aaron.
This is so crappy, though. It's just plastic.
Dude, that's how the polygrams were, though. That's how they were.
I know.
That's
I
a
got
polygram
several of them.
release.
I got
That's
several of them.
Those polygram re-releases are like a genre all in themselves. There's people that like the completists try to do all the polygram releases.
I swear it looks like it's yellowed too, but I don't know. Is it yellowed or is that just the shitty look of it? I don't even know.
No, that's how it looks.
Yeah, it's the
It's,
look.
It's just like gray. It's not even silver. It's gray.
Yeah,
No, right.
it's basically the album version of this,
it's just
AJ.
that. Yeah.
It's the album version of that. You better not, Rick. Rick would get in an airplane and fly to Chicago, choke you out if you tore that in half.
Well, we got a spare bed.
I have to go to that hot dog place, though. What's that place?
Gina Jude's?
No,
Portillo's?
shoot, I can't remember. I have the bumper sticker.
The one where they swear at you? The Wiener Circle? Look up the Wiener Circle. Conan, what's his face, was there from Conan. One
Don't
episode.
Google Wiener Circle.
Well, yeah, Chicago probably.
Yeah. Hot dog stand Wiener Circle.
Well, you still
Yeah,
you're not out of the woods
yeah.
there either.
It's the one on Route 66. I can't remember what it is.
I don't know. We always thought about doing Route 66 tour. We never
See,
did.
the thing about AJ's, he's not really from Chicago.
I just never went anywhere unless it was within a 2-block radius.
That's how you stay. That's how you stay safe.
My parents weren't into driving. Neither am I.
Wiener circles.
God.
Wiener
All
Circle.
right, Rick, what do you got?
The MQA Japanese.
Is it unsealed?
Yeah, of
I
course.
was going to say,
I'm
I'm going to
leave
give
this
you,
sealed.
I'm going to give you shit over anything that's sealed.
Yeah, he's not a pervert.
This thing is shiny.
Yeah.
That is shiny, dude. Goodness gracious.
I bet you can melt that down.
This is the greatest sound quality double platinum you'll ever hear in your life. I swear to God.
A lot of those Japanese CDs, I hear that about.
Mhm.
They're just
It's
so good.
Vinyl.
And it comes with a tiny little merch form.
Awesome.
That's fucking cool.
Tiny little hype sticker.
That's cute. Yeah,
Look at it.
yeah.
I gotta get one.
My hype sticker on my sealed copy.
Tiny little award. And then
Those
because
awards are
it's
so
Japanese
awesome.
version. It's got the tiny little Japanese poster.
Oh, man.
That's
So-
cool.
That's fun. And then hype sticker version sealed, but I split it so I could check inside to see if I had a misprint. I do not. Hey, Ron?
Nice.
What is the misprint?
It's got a all Gene.
What's all Gene instead of
And I think there's one that it's all Peter.
Mhm.
okay? So when
Oh,
it
wow.
come to going through the embossing machine,
Yeah.
I went through it 4 times. Okay,
I've never seen them in real life, but
I bet you Brant has it.
That's another. You're gonna have to open every double.
That's another thing I got to start doing now. I already flip over every Alive 2. I flip over every ace to make sure it's see if it's purple on the back. Now I'm going to start opening up every double platinum.
Yeah,
I love that.
Oh,
which that's a beautiful cover. My
Yeah.
gosh.
That'd
Yeah,
be
I
a
almost
great
bought
poster.
one of those. There was one that popped up on Kiss My Wax yesterday, and I almost got it.
Now, another person you should have at your Kiss conventions is
Yeah.
There you go.
Right?
this is a lot of fun because they have a DJ like introduce every song, and so it's kind of fun to hear like the new from Kiss
oh, that's awesome.
That'd be a great poster, just a chick like that.
songbook.
Yeah.
Cool little pictures
Yeah. Kiss porn
and
we're
photos.
looking at right now.
Yeah, this is total Kiss.
I love that
Two,
ace
two,
picture.
two of the great, that Peter picture's so good too. Those are two great photos.
It's got a cool little like write up from Neil Bogart.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Neil Bogart.
And then, of course, all the songs and piano tablature. That's fun. Double Platinum Army Kit. First one by Sergeant Baker. Jennifer Baker from the Aucoin offices.
How far are you on that checklist?
Well, I only have 2 items. I have the newsletter
Nice.
and certificate signed by 3 kids.
Nice.
And one of the kids does his S as Gene and then has the number 7 next to it.
That's cool.
One kid put a star.
And the one kid I saw your video about that that was 3. Those are, you would have to hope the way you and Brett and some of your friends, Dan, and some of the other guys that you go to like New York and with stuff, you would only hope that the 3 guys that's names on that thing are still as close as you guys are.
That would
You know
be,
what I'm saying?
Well, and then
It's a shame if they're not.
I wonder if they did they all put in money for this army kit?
Yeah.
And so they all
Had
3,
to have.
or did they have a club?
Google them.
Blood pact.
And then this is from the merch form, the 8x10 from the merch form.
Nice.
But
That's a great picture.
I stuck that in the army kit. And then we get into Mylar posters.
Yeah.
There's the group shot that's on the merch form.
I love that.
And then
So gorgeous.
Oh, look at this guy.
Well, I'm gonna have to excuse myself in a minute.
Take a drink.
Have to
Get
go to
your
the
blue
bathroom.
Kool-Aid.
Have to go to the bathroom. Get
I
my
remember
blue
when Rick
Kool-Aid.
wouldn't frame things. I remember those days.
yes, I know. I'm a framing son of a gun,
You're a
Oh,
framing
my
fool
goodness.
Peter.
I just love I remember the very first time I saw the uncropped shots, like you saw the rest of Peter's body and you saw the rest of Ace's body from bigger the actual full shots that weren't cropped down for the back cover of Live 2. And you saw details that you hadn't seen ever. It's just so cool.
And that's what's always so fun about these is because these are really Alive 2 posters. And then Gene.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
And then now this was not in the merch form, but it is one of the Mylars. It's a 76. And then the most fun is this is the promo poster that they would see. It's it has the dimensions 20 by 25 Mylar posters. And there's there's a standard white version of this too, but I don't have Slayer Forever money to
See, you're such a Kiss nerd that you have a poster about the posters.
Actually, this is the one that started me down the rabbit hole because I was because I only had the promo poster.
Yeah, because it's got all the posters that you have. It's got the one that's got like the Rock and Roll Over Destroyer costume.
Yeah, and so I was like, well, I have to get all these now.
Yeah, I've got to get them all now because I got a poster that's got them on it, so I got to get them all.
Set down the rabbit hole.
Yeah,
But that's it. That's all I have for merch.
So great.
and that's all, folks. That's all he has for merch.
Yeah.
I love you, man.
And-
God Almighty.
And if anybody ever wonders why we had Rick on for double platinum,
And we damn sure gonna do we damn sure we're gonna do everything we can to have him back for Dynasty
and the solos.
and solo. And solos
Oh,
if he
yeah.
wants to come. Yeah,
It's gonna be
solos.
if I do a Gene, it's going to be a shootout with my buddy AA Ron.
Yeah, and mine will probably be a shootout with him with Peter Chris too. So I ain't gonna let him poop all over Peter Chris.
No.
If I'm on the Gene one, I'm just going to mute myself, and every time he talks, I'm just going.
That bad.
You won't do it. I would love that.
Am I that bad? I'm a no bullshit kind of guy.
Stick your fingers in your
Especially-
ears. I'm excited for solo albums, and I like the way that we're doing them. Is we're kind of going back and forward between what people consider the best and what people consider the not so best. Is going with Gene and then going with Ace, then going with Peter, then going with Paul. So it's kind of a back and forward in between the four of them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I love this time of year. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. It's starting to. I don't know about y'all, but it's actually kind of starting to cool off down here in the South just a little bit.
Which is
One day,
weird.
one day it'll be 90s again down next week. So
It's been like mid 80s to low 90s here, and that's strange this time of year. It's usually like 110.
Today was the
Mhm.
first day I noticed like it got light. The sun came up later.
Hmm.
This is the first day I noticed it. Like it was
Yeah.
like almost 5:15 before the sun came up. And
The other
it's like here comes solo album weather.
the other night, I have a lamp in my living room that has a smart plug, and it turns on a certain time, turns on a certain time in the evening, and turns off a certain time. And I have it coinciding to it turns on about the time that it starts to get dim in the living room, and it keeps us from having to turn on the overhead and everything. It just gives us enough light to watch TV too in the evenings before we go to bed. And I let it stay on overnight because it's LED bulb. It ain't burning no electricity. And I was noticing the other night I was in there and I was like, it's almost downright dark in here and the lamp hadn't came on yet. And I looked at my watch and I was like, it's got to be close to 9. It was like 8:15 and I'm like, oh yeah, here we go. The
Bring
day's
it.
starting to get shorter
bring it.
because like it's 9:05 here and usually during the dead part of summer, it's like the sky at least is still light outside. And I'm looking out my window here and I can't tell the difference between the skyline and the trees. So it's dark outside. Now,
There's no sense in having light after 8 o'clock.
who did all the remixing on this album?
Easy peasy.
If you don't know that, you ain't been paying attention.
So in the comments below, who did all of the remixing for Kiss Double Platinum?
Yep.
Also, tell us your thoughts on the album as a whole. Tell us your favorite difference on one of the tracks. Tell us your favorite track from the album. Which side you prefer out of the 4?
I am Brant from In My Head channel on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and patreon.com/In My Head. I'm In My Head if you search In My Head on any of those other platforms, you'll find me.
AJR_1975 on Instagram, I believe, and AJ's Happy Fun Time channel on YouTube. I think I'm up to 99 subscribers.
Get him to 100. Somebody get him to 100. I'm already subscribed.
If I get 100, I'm giving a car away. A new car.
I'm Rick from It's All For You Demon on YouTube and Instagram. I also subscribe to AJ's Happy Fun Time channel. It is good stuff, and I will soon own his 1985 double platinum album before the summer is over. And we're gonna get Brant to open these records.
That may be a Critical Kiss super episode where I go through and I open all my unsealed records except for
Oh
You
my
Won the Best.
God.
Except for You Won the Best, You Got the Best. That's part of my retirement fund.
You get a knock on the door, it's me and Rick just stand there with this little knife.
But like the strangers.
Yeah, well, you distract them.
Does anybody know what this is?
Eddie from Into the Road.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I sent out something the other day and I threw a couple pieces of my confetti in it as a little extra gift.
And I'm Tommy, Clairvoyant Audio Files on YouTube and Instagram. Like I said before, we'll put something out eventually. And don't forget, folks, TeePublic, Critical Kiss, get your merch. Also, of course, I know Brant has a TeePublic store for In My Head. Rick has a TeePublic for It's All For You Demon, where you can get a couple of the most beautiful gals that have ever walked on 4 paws on some merch. Do it!
Do it!
And of course, subscribe here if you haven't already for more Critical Kiss content. Like this video, comment down below, answer the trivia question, and follow us, Critical Kiss 1 on Instagram, Critical Kiss on Facebook. And with that, we'll see you next month for the Gene solo album. Thank you, Rick, for joining us.
And thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
We got to have you back.
Good having you, brother.